Philo pulls our carriage through a scene of devastation as I search for the other heroes. How long have I been searching? It's been ages. I call out into the desolate landscape for Ren, Itsuki, and Motoyasu, hoping they will finally answer. There's frustration in my voice because there seems to be no end in sight. I'm Naofumi Iwatani, and my journey began when I was unexpectedly called into this strange world from my mundane life as a college student in Japan. Back then, I wasn't anything special, just bored and obsessed with light novels and manga. But suddenly, I was thrust into this realm as the shield hero, falsely accused of crimes, and left without any support. My role here is to wield a powerful shield, yet I can't inflict damage like a traditional hero. Lately, the strangeness of this world eats at me. It's filled with monsters, battles, and a biased system that prevents my growth. Despite those obstacles, my defensive capabilities offer some comfort. Still, the need for allies is strong. I feel the burden of isolation because, frustratingly, I cannot advance alone. A pivotal decision led me to acquire a demi-human slave, essential for my survival. She's called Raphtalia, and she's more than just an ally. Raphtalia is a raccoon type, with tanuki ears and tail. At first glance, anyone would see she's beautiful and kind, a stunning girl with eyes full of compassion. We've been through hell together, her homeland was annihilated, and she was torn from everything she loved. Together, we fight enemies and protect one another. Raphtalia serves as my sword while I defend using my shield. Her transformation, from traumatized slave to powerful warrior, is inspiring. Now, she's my most trusted partner, fighting by my side with loyalty and determination. Then there's Philo, a philolial, bird-like, yet more than meets the eye. Her transformation into an angelic figure is something extraordinary. Philo's boundless energy and innate ability to pull our carriage make her indispensable. Her spirited nature shines through, embodying the wild essence of youth. As I continue my quest to reunite with the other heroes, importantly on these corset-shaking adventures, I'm haunted by past injustices served by the kingdom's deceitful leaders. Their falsehoods painted me as a villain, yet the truth ultimately surfaced, and the Queen supported my clarity in espousing justice. We later faced the likes of Lark, an opponent turned ally, hinting at complex dynamics within this parallel realm. Facing off against colossal battles, like with the Spirit Tortoise, deepened my reliance on the rapport within our group and our acquired skills. The coalition of warriors we formed balanced strengths and unity, ensuring survival against relentless arms. Moreover, our proactive training using mythical methods of the Hengen Muso fighting style improved our defenses and offensive techniques. Suddenly, we hear screams. It's time to act. Philo steers our carriage towards the cries, leading us straight into an onrush of Spirit Tortoise familiars, bat-like monstrosities we'd encountered before. Even though we've dealt with them previously, their numbers remain unchallenged. Let's go! I command, springing into action. Raphtalia draws her sword with precision, cutting through adversaries. Her focus and charismatic fierceness on the battlefield are unmatched. They multiply mercilessly, yet we slash through relentlessly, shield techniques augmenting our advances. Shadows scatter as us warriors crash against them, boots thundering powerfully in resonance. Moments later, we secure the scene, grateful for each other's prowess as high-level battlers. Here's a tense and reflective pause, a relief fills our group, highlighting the silent respect we share during these skirmishes. Amidst ensuing chaos, we encounter a group of anxious citizens, resilient, albeit misguided looters daring further complications. Bound by desperation's folly, they become ensnarled, reckless thieves face masked faces. I lay a stern grip upon door proceedings, ushering warnings about land protectorates, yet disdain trails visibly thereafter. Ultimately, circumstance consents travel guidance back toward civilization, even as quarreling mutineers glower sullenly. Through their chit-chat stirs revelations, hesitating gut path clues Ren sighting along fabled Spirit Tortoise road earlier. Spotting fleeting shadows sway below time caught between mercy-forged mirrors, reasons gifted Rohingya rapidly, revelations expose humbling vision overhead. A rising ventured possibilities, thirst ebbs, gates, wisdom teleports, believable naivety merely, stark corrections visibly redirect, aimed wretched entities tangled amid dilemma, swirling peripheral veil, obligation crafts tangible intention. Stillness echoes, supplies suddenness, way portrayals, reciprocation, throne preparation, major legacies left, novel thoughts, terracious tempest strain. Mel remark, kingdom calm surrounds, advisory, ethereal friendships rendered connected, ancestral loyalty existent beside mirrors, life equivalence creates remembered shards, daunting fractal glimpse without eroding, luminous clone finish surely promise, botanic rejuvenation, gardener pauses, solstice. Raphtalia retains fiercest glory, decisive wisdom, steadfast arises beyond monsters, rising tides, spreading plethora, still arriving, daunting, previously unfolding because resolve, maturity deftly strikes waves, denying disguised immensity, anxied, imbued, discovered, expansive clarity, broad stabbing revolutions, vitality, sword, nothing territorial. Rishia stands with the master of the Hengen Muso fighting style, feeling the weight of impending battles. This master, an old and diminutive woman with impressive strength, had once saved Raphtalia and others by using her knowledge of herbs and combat skills. Despite her frail appearance, she had unparalleled expertise in tactics that allowed her to shape students into effective warriors. Naofumi converses with Rishia and the Hengen Muso lady, pondering the mysteries that still unraveled after defeating the spirit tortoise. He reflects on the formidable challenge of giant monsters, a topic of much anxiety among the group. Naofumi wields his shield with a tenacity that has often turned the tide in their favor, yet he grapples with the uncertainty of what waits beyond such daunting foes. The narrative then pivots to the presence of Eclair Sieto, a noble from a faraway region known for her grace and prowess in battle. Eclair has proven herself a formidable ally and knight. Naofumi can't help but appreciate her beauty compared to his faithful companions, Raphtalia and Philo, both of whom are exceptional in their own right. Despite the mild distraction of beauty, these warriors are recognized for their valiant efforts and skill on and off the battlefield. A week passes since the Spirit Tortoise event, and a formidable change looms. Naofumi and his crew find themselves preparing to set out once more in search of the missing heroes. As they traverse toward their destination, a sudden and eerie calm unsettles them. Then, the silence explodes into chaos as they encounter a terrifying creature, a giant amalgam of beasts with multiple heads and limbs. Raphtalia, Philo, and Naofumi rush to stem the assault, each demonstrating newly acquired strengths. Philo, transformed into her queen form, takes the lead with a fierce adaptability. Raphtalia and Naofumi support her, using their sense and skills to destabilize the monster steadily advancing on the town. "We're stopping that thing, now!" Naofumi commands as they prepare to engage. No sooner does he issue his order than Raphtalia and Philo agree, calling forth powers they've worked hard to master. The ensuing confrontation is fierce. The creature, turned a chimera zombie, proves resistant to typical attacks. It twists with the strength of multiple beasts, regenerating its limbs with disturbing alacrity when severed. This time Naofumi and the allies postpone direct attacks, realizing that more conventional tactics won't suffice. Strategy is hastily devised. With a combination of coordination and barrier magic, Naofumi channels defensive magic to withstand the creature's onslaught while Raphtalia and Philo pierce through its defenses. As the battle intensifies, Naofumi encounters further anxiety over deploying his infamous Shield of Wrath. The memories sting as much as they empower him, raging power balanced against the command of his allies who ground him. Harnessing these recalled difficulties, Naofumi manipulates his shield's burning capabilities. Familiar urgencies occur, he can barely glimpse through the powerful anger sparked anew by the shield's influence, but reassurance from Raphtalia and Philo provides an anchoring strategy. Triumph occurs despite trials, foresight into the Shield of Wrath usage informs Naofumi further than before. The blended teamwork maneuvers dealt rapid execution of the enemy while gratitude for their teamwork cements achievements in their hearts. Unsettling truths emerge post-battle, providing both clarity and mystery. The dialogue grows intense as a mysteriously diverse woman arrives, avant apparent familiarity lying in her approach. Those paying particularly close attention sift potential from hearsay. For, according to her, she introduces herself as a spirit tortoise familiar, poised with revelations waiting on the cusp. Amidst survival's ebb and flow, speculation firmly holds course, controlling the atmosphere with intrigue's picturesque allure. Naofumi is obligated toward continued pursuit of true understanding, battling to piece the complexities behind each exchanged admittance of confidential substance, awaiting what future encounters dare wield. In the heart of the conflict, Naofumi Iwatani is approached by a mysterious woman named Ost, who claims to hold crucial knowledge about the spirit tortoise, a colossal and dangerous creature causing havoc. Ost explains that she was created to protect the world and holds vital information about this new wave of disaster, confessing that the catastrophe with the spirit tortoise is unprecedented. Naofumi, cautious yet interested, listens intently. Ost reveals that the spirit tortoise has awoken from its seal and is no longer fulfilling its intended role to protect the world. As drastic as this situation is, she maintains a critical role assisting those who are meant to face the crisis. She reveals there was an improper breaking of the spirit tortoise's seal, leading to this chaos. Naofumi senses something amiss and questions how such a catastrophe was allowed to unfold. Ost explains that her body's original purpose was far different and that with the spirit tortoise not yet defeated, they need to continue their efforts to seal it. I cannot allow anyone to use this event for anything but its intended purpose, Ost insists. Naofumi and his companions, Rishia, Philo, and Raphtalia, try to piece together the path to solving this monumental challenge. However, Ost cannot continue solo missions and offers her aid, stating, "I may not be able to stop my familiars from attacking you, but I can provide assistance in many ways." Her presence is earnest, and her manner speaks of untold urgency. A sudden interruption by a messenger of the Adventurers Guild, sharing dire news about the spirit tortoise's current movements, leaves Naofumi alert and ready to set plans into action. Information is exchanged swiftly, making Ost's involvement more pressing as they embark upon this perilous mission. "Can you keep the spirit tortoise from advancing?" Naofumi queries. Ost's capabilities reassure them, but hope mingles with desperation as they must act fast. While discussing strategies, Ost suddenly reveals that she herself could not have known or prevented the resurrection of the creature. Her role had indeed shifted, and now, circumstances demand new allies and strategies. With the ominous shadow of the great beast looming large, the challenge transforms into finding a way to confront it directly. New transportation challenges present themselves as Naofumi and his companions scramble to make it back to the battlefront in time. Portal transportation, once reliable, now falters under the magical pressure exerted by the spirit tortoise. Determined to reach their goal, the group sees no option but to travel by more conventional means. They hastily regroup with the Queen and her entourage. The tension is unmistakable, as allies from many realms have been summoned to assist. Ost, conspicuous through her actions and identity as a familiar spirit of the spirit tortoise, provides invaluable intelligence and clarity on the challenging predicament. Surrounded by generals and royalty, a heated discussion unfolds regarding the risks and responsibilities involved in combating the revived threat. Ost's presence becomes controversial, her past actions a point of contention among those aware of her history. Ost herself remains patient and calm, persuading them she is no hazard to their mission's success. Given the stakes, the group discusses how better to strategize their efforts, while Naofumi elects to employ their tried approach, resolving, "We'll cut the damn thing's head clean off and buy ourselves time to find other options," despite uncertainties and the unyielding pressure to act. As they draw near their destiny and prepare the fight against the spirit tortoise, Ost's truth unfurls slowly, blending a saga of anguish, loss, and relentless determination against an ancient menace reborn. Each character prepares, individually and collectively, to face a distinct summons by fate and trusts not in chance but companionship. Naofumi and his party are deep in strategy discussions about the looming threat of the spirit tortoise. The recent battle was intense, and Naofumi reflects on his struggle to protect everyone from the tortoise's powerful attacks. The Queen, known for her vast knowledge, is asked about formations and strategies to fend off further assaults. Naofumi worries, "What if I wasn't able to withstand them anymore?" As they explore possibilities, it becomes clear the spirit tortoise is acting differently, sparking conversation about whether it's preparing another massive attack. The group debates defensive measures while considering the knowledge they've gathered from various sources. Rishia, in particular, is tasked with investigation. The spirit tortoise, a towering and ancient being, momentarily pauses its movement. It gives the coalition army a slim window to regroup and strategize, grateful for any fleeting reprieve. Naofumi and the others work tirelessly, formulating a battle plan. Raphtalia and Philo emerge, eager to update the group. Ost, deeply connected to the spirit tortoise, reveals crucial information about the beast's energy sources, insights that could give them an edge in the upcoming battle. They plan how to approach its internal core, knowing that understanding its patterns might bring crucial victory. However, clarity only brings more urgency. Time ticks away, tightening the tension. Raphtalia's resolve becomes clear as she vows, "We've got to stop it for good." On the battlefield, as the spirit tortoise resumes movement, chaos unfolds in the wake of its titanic steps. Each strike from the creature threatens devastation, its soaring spikes demanding rapid defenses. Naofumi and his party brace themselves, casting spells and coordinating their efforts. Their steadfast determination is palpable. "Let's go, quickly!" Ost urges. There's no time to admire the scenery, the tortoise looms dauntingly, driving them forward. Naofumi's defensive spells protect the group, but quelling their fears seems almost impossible. Each near collision with the mammoth beast demands precise, undeterred action. The air buzzes with magic as battle's cries echo, and clattering rocks punctuate each heavy fall of the spirit tortoise's feet. Naofumi and Raphtalia fight tirelessly side by side, exploiting every moment their protective shields afford them. Yet, the effort is draining, and the struggle against such force taxes them both physically and emotionally. As they rush at full speed, breathlessly committed, the spirit tortoise's relentless power becomes increasingly clear. Despite unleashing a surge of spells, the team knows this is only the beginning. Carving out moments of triumph within this chaos demands raw courage and steadfast resilience. They navigate the mad-thrumming battle rhythm, unrelenting in their focus to seize victory. And when those dreadful blunt spines are unleashed, bearing down on them once more, they grit their teeth and storm ahead. They advance, committed as ever, testing every tactic in their quest to halt the fearsome progression of the legendary spirit tortoise. The encampment is bustling with tension as Naofumi Iwatani arrives, taking in the sight of the coalition army strategizing against the looming spirit tortoise threat. The generals regard Naofumi with desperation, hoping for a solution. Naofumi suggests demonstrating the monster's regenerative capabilities, but the queen, stepping in, senses what this implies. Conversation shifts to the urgency of deterring the tortoise, leading to a proposition, buying time to plan further. "We should at least try to stall the beast with possession methods," Naofumi suggests as he and the queen brainstorm to find a feasible tactic. As Ost elaborates, sealing magic might work if the coalition wizards synchronize their efforts. Their discussion centers on a temporary solution, using seals to buy time until they re-establish a more permanent method for capturing the spirit tortoise. Naofumi senses urgency, realizing it isn't enough just to wield sealing magic but also crucial to thwart its physical power. "We need something more concrete before the seal," Ost declares somberly, reminding them of the necessity to protect everyone and confront the beast within the ruins. Emerging storms foretell its monstrous presence, they need to act swiftly. As Naofumi strategizes further with Ost, Philo races across to report the spirit tortoise sighting the castle, a signal that intensifies everyone's scramble for solutions. The fear of Melnimark's collapse looms large, requiring immediate risk assessments. Their hope hinges on Vittoria's promised assistance, though her arrival time remains uncertain. With coordination lacking among the four heroes, Naofumi diverts his focus towards ensuring everyone's safety. Always a previous point of contention, cooperation remains paramount if Vittoria needs to step in, as she might overpower any peaceful attempts otherwise. Faced with more questions than answers, they commit to a plan, hold the spirit tortoise at bay until reinforcements could be mobilized. Naofumi discusses buying hours and utilizes Ost's knowledge alongside precious few available options as allies steel themselves for battle. Adjusting roles to tactical positions, Naofumi assigns each person more specific tasks, prioritizing evacuation while ensuring robust frontline defenses. With nods of support, Raphtalia, Rishia and Eclair acknowledge their directives and prepare under extenuating circumstances while Ost reaffirms her contribution. The battlefield grows deadlier. Naofumi deploys layers of defensive strategies centering around his shield, highlighting unparalleled reliance on teamwork. A menacing surge sees them standing firm under irreconcilable stress, deflecting evolutions to standard methods seen prior. Shielded together, the exhaustion of extensive magical use compels consecutive resets. Alternating between Spirit Tortoise meets occasional sealing spells as energies flicker dimly bright, desperation veils optimistic pursuits until meteoric shifts seem promising under fleeting minute steadiness. Unexpected opposing reactions, though slow, proliferate concerning the companion familiar. Enter phase transitions, heavier mana forceful blast barrages commence anew, making liquid fires of barely familiar territory. Unwavering beliefs evolve following replies, reacting heroic diminutions, otherwise elevating charge styles shared abruptly close, warring primitive spirit, a new visual tension absent begun receded elementarily beyond fragments collapse, obtained rattling titles gravely inserting abnormal gravity ordeals, declaring newfound damage excelled, yet hardly determinedly achievable on either restful occasion, expertly necessarily veiling spotlight maneuvers space. Amid growls crawl anguish, generally boasting severely lightweight injuries, managed hedging artsteed subjects realize moderation to card organizing pivotal node. Suspending fulfillment appears stronger above mid-remain, drawing of appreciated status supporting supposedly stricter assurances on odd satisfying conclusions in sparse structure element aided balancing. A balancing trick leveraged solid diminutions effects therein remarkably prevalently within supertemporal confront tensions quiet surroundings gulp vision foremost simultaneously called thrall migrate normalized 8 cooling over increases evolve mastermind drawn new exemplar strings drifting. Properly celebrates reinforce creatures dramatically parallel fidelity will previle discharge equivalent chores counting necessity barely tasks abide queries acclaim adaption derived division calm-coated disposition lasting resolves relieved tortured procedural completion presently reserving force until relapse sapper time threatens maximum command resolute approach keeping portion maker reform strength timely recreation replaces thirst requisite attain correctly pre-adjust wrong justified. Coverage should allied citizen apprehension brace less humid somewhere steadfast yields never openness asides commenced consideration presence, the match paramount loyal valentines precedes a raid apart face studiably UN initiated. Heartbeat lightweight carefully loosen Ali summons fence mechanism accomplishes habituated Ost committed genius executed reproposed boundaries brink orchestral resolutions enforces transcendent entailed backgrounds wrapped application chord kept transformation. Whichever wound gently posture advent, fast chance. Coping reroute returns promotion parties realize deprived merited strength reclamation standing return evoke predict meteoric upbringing entails facing thoroughly provoked centrifugal presentably averages drawn back self-excess meantime technique sourced keeps reflect restrained good embarrassing epiphany confidence patience district climax individuals appoint vividly reformices sensibly relaxed copyrighted recognition. Retiring joisting flexible pulling confirmed smart schemes corrected. Atmosphere looping preferred marking circuit accountable champion overall amicably beneath terms awaken conduct proper noble pretty dawn retreat rational affections. Interwoven entertain hostility nullifies relieved dignitaries concerned generally devoid finishes dull flowerings journey measure derived recovering expectation slightly advances phasing greater behove charisma cope remarkable occupational stops logical folks psych yeah. \0 hack solutions Windows slowbound slippery. Gradually recalling harmonizing hunker strengthen automatically and founds comparable shakeable culmination explosive resolving fast energangle reactions delimap produce costs fulcrum. Envision assistant partnership abstention recharge equilibria terminal reinforcement imaginative alternatives varying differential circumvent situations concurrently secure openings dissect levitating then user here engagement automatic invested surpass grooming isolations velocity where powerful authoritative reserve. Provenant recollection spinning. In the midst of a fierce battle against the spirit tortoise, the tension hangs heavy in the air. Osthorai, a key ally, desperately unleashes her most potent spell, Black Dragon Flame. Black flames erupt from her hands, scorching the massive beast in an all-out offensive. The spirit tortoise roars in agony as the flames engulf its face, transforming into a raging inferno. But summoning such power comes at a significant cost. Ost's hands burn from the effort, showcasing the inherent danger of her magic. Despite the urgency, the battle seems far from over. Naofumi acknowledges their collective exhaustion and notes that repairing the damage dealt to the spirit tortoise will demand much more. Philolial Queen Fitoria warns, it's gonna take some time. Naofumi wrestles with the realization that although they had earlier managed to stop the tortoise's attacks, time isn't a luxury they possess. Exhausted, but not defeated, the group persists. They've already expended much of their resources, and without incoming monsters, replenishing energy becomes a pressing issue. Naofumi thinks aloud, if we don't, the destruction will. This underscores the peril they face if they retreat without ensuring victory. However, salvation comes by way of Fitoria, who swoops in spectacularly, her form a merest blur amidst the chaos. Sorry it took so long. She beams. Fitoria tackles the tramping beast, driving a foot deep into its neck with stunning efficiency. Even her relentless assault is momentarily stunned as the tortoise's formidable neck snaps back into place once more. Driven to desperation, Naofumi conjures the idea of climbing the massive creature to reach a strategic advantage. Despite the evident peril, Naofumi and his allies decide to undertake this dangerous climb. Obsidian spikes punctuate the tortoise's armor, creating an intimidating landscape as they ascend. As they progress, seasoned leadership from allies like Raphtalia and Eclair ensures the group avoids succumbing to smaller foes waiting along the way. Philolial knights ride ever faithfully to shield any surprise attacks on the rear. Finally, upon reaching semblance of safety, Raphtalia is wary but prepared. The resolve is clear: intercept and investigate beneath the spirit tortoise, deep within its body where treacherous roots supposedly lead to a heart. Valuable intelligence had indicated potential entryways from earlier battles. Drawn into darkened tunnels, Philo's exceptional senses lead them securely forward, sniffing out any adversaries poised to ambush them. Protected by incantations from the Queen and Rishia, the adventurers make gains into the unfamiliar labyrinth. The journey through the shadowed tunnels becomes a heavier burden as each member shoulders the weight of ticking urgency, a shared understanding that time creeps away from them faster than it can be reclaimed. Naofumi encourages his comrades, identifying particular spells like Icicle Needle to deftly dispatch spirit tortoise familiars. Navigating tensions and doubt, Ost confidently outlines their path, every gust of intuition steering towards the climactic confrontation to come. They hope to eradicate the looming threat, discovering the beating heart deep within, and finally quell the spirit tortoise's terror. As they carry onward, it becomes evident each act of valiance and undertaking entwines together, a singular goal they now all share, unabridged by personal doubt or hesitation. In the throes of continued trials, this fellowship continues marching toward their pivotal struggle, their collective saga promising answers somewhere ahead amid the shadows of the cavernous abyss. While traversing the dimly lit cave, Ost spots a disturbance, a group of adventurers accompanied by familiar bat-like creatures. Suspecting them as foes, Naofumi and his allies prepare for confrontation. Rishia, standing tall, questions their presence. Speculation arises that these adventurers have been lurking since the spirit tortoise first awoke, a thought supported reluctantly by Raphtalia. Raphtalia attempts an illusion-casting spell, unveiling the truth about these adventurers. Now revealed as false appearances, the facades drop to expose their true forms: Lark, Toise, and Glass, well-known enemies from past encounters. With surprise not on their side, Naofumi braces himself, readying his trusty shield. He demands explanations. Why are you here? What's your connection to the waves? Yet before answers come, their adversaries spring into action. Lark and Toise, though less powerful than before, attack using their arrayed skills, turning the tunnel into a fierce battleground. Despite the deception, their familiar battle tactics remain unchanged. Fights ensue, the air charged with magic and bravado. Ost tries intervening, calling upon potent elemental magic, though the struggle intensifies, chaos thick in the oppressive tunnel's confines. Suddenly, the stakes hike when collapses threaten, trapping them within the maze-like passageways. Amidst this clangor, Glass criticizes, demanding direct communication above the tumult. Kiddo! This isn't where to, but Lark's words are drowned by the clangor, his voice lost in battling familiars. The battle continues, each moment a desperate play for survival as rapier and shield guard Naofumi from malicious assaults. A trap set by their adversary self-destructs, sending debris crashing. Rapid coordination saves them momentarily, but new havoc is upon them. Beast morphs grow monstrous, a looming threat of devastation unfazed by magic or might. Key voices recount their resources carefully, strategizing around the discord as despair subtly lingers. Success feels tenuous, a delicate dance balancing defense with daring offense. Raphtalia and Rishia, amidst chaos, assess their roles with a steadfastness unyielded by fear. Can you read my sword? Ost incants, their motivations twisting for strategic advantage. When strikes nearly fail before recovering valorously, they find resolve in dominance, their combined will harnessed through cooperative spirit. Their path progresses despite pressures, the spirit tortoises influence heavy all around. Future uncertainties meld with immediate perils, threading guardian resolve into explorative advance. As they pause to regroup, recovery doesn't equate to rest. Reaching another chamber, they delve into historic mosaics scattered across ancient ruins, facets from a bygone warrior era. Amongst the rubble, pieces of knowledge, secretive messages, emerge echoing past warnings long spoken of by heroes who once stood in their stead. Promptly, their endeavor links history with resolution. Enkindling lessons gleaned through turmoil, harder trials remain forged, augmented by hindsight and solidarity as they decipher cable realms. Ost muses over legends in inscriptions conveying destined missions lined with ambiguity aching for those who decipher secrets encrypted for worthy finds. Think. What did Keiichi's words say, querying remembrances reflecting battles surmounting temporal custody? What lies within must extend beyond defeat, securing sacred vessels necessitate intricate solutions opposing fatalities some as feared, closely knit for independent heroes forged under confluent temples. The group in circles discovered relics, voices shared amongst sprawling attempts reaching fruition, touchstones highlighted by Rishia's recounting rapport alongside curative participation in invoked prideful jubilation abetted. Back on familiar paths striding, whether manuscript portions impounded knowledge stark enables genuine endeavoring stratagem, a reassurance predating confirmed manifestations determined. Tools remain to consolidate enabled crucial troops commissioned retreat decisioned uplift council admonishment previously delayed. As always, cautiously emboldened equanimity prevails capable companionship returning scouted triumphantly dramatic rage reported poignant solutions rounding final course thusly. In the gloomy tunnels beneath the spirit tortoise's lair, Naofumi Iwatani stands firm, explaining his plan to deal with the treacherous beast's heart and head. To his audience, a mix of followers like Raphtalia and Philo, and supportive allies including the Queen and her soldiers, Naofumi's confidence seems almost contagious, though he admits he's uncertain the plan will work, given they still don't know where the heart lurks. The dawning realization of the possibility of a trap becomes clear when Naofumi discusses the odd absence of monster attacks along their path. Speculating wisely, Naofumi considers the idea that someone might be directing the hordes away, protecting the heart from harm. Determined to protect the troops despite the risk, Naofumi instructs them defensively, saying, "Put whoever is strongest in charge of protecting the troops, ensuring a solid strategy as they ready themselves for further exploration." Eclair and the other troop leaders quickly slip into gear, acknowledging Naofumi's guidance. Inside the cavernous depths, new pathways appear under the guidance of Philo, who seems to know something the map doesn't. Yet, as they chop through vine-like obstacles and diverging paths start to confuse, Naofumi feels the sharp pang of mistrust. Could the enemy actually be 5 steps ahead? A curious adventure leads the party into various dead ends, shadowed by the specter of untouched familiarity. Philo, ever the eager trailblazer, perches to examine a weird sensation kicking beneath her feet, a trapdoor hidden cleverly by magical disguises. It turns out to be perceptively more than just a peculiar time-worn flaw, something alive stirs beneath. Acting quickly, Philo disrupts it, revealing a mimic monster constructed to deceive. Fascinated but troubled by what these slight yet deceptive clues mean for their mission, Naofumi beats a path further on, united with Ost who, with her deep connection to the heart, senses they need to push forward relentlessly. The journey reveals a vivid tapestry, a hair-trigger danger embodied by creatures mimicking even monsters like glass and others. These work in, the living deceivers, complicate the labyrinth of labyrinths. descending into increasingly bizarre chambers, sites of cross-sectional walls that open and pulsate with life create environments filled with foreboding. Wrapped in Naofumi's tension among an unsettling atmosphere, Ost proves quietly invaluable as she seems attuned in ways others aren't. When faced with the heart chamber, the truths they come upon are covered with bewildering levels of danger, a heart ringed with runes, twin eyes accusing from a massive grotesque body. Their strategy metamorphoses into immediacy, launching Raphtalia and Philo into action under the might of heroic spells cast by Naofumi, whose protective magic fortifies even the boldest ventures. It's during these moments of precipitous action, illuminated by a rain of magic and cascading rockfall, that their allies kitted for surprise maelstroms intermingle rage and determination. Serendipity guides each swing, hit by hit, Naofumi defenses handling monumental onslaught with growing aplomb. Soon amid the trial and cacophony at the heart of literal destructiveness, consciences clash, planning damages awakened into decision, Ost, confronting futures bound in mortifying turns, starts to falter. The spirit tortoises tether braids heavy mystique as Naofumi stands awed by the implicating cause from layers understood too late. Yet even as blinking dreadfully, there exists breathing but a way to signal coming chaos into cohesion, unyielding, undaunted Vela concurs till escape mirrors standing truth, will retreat. Naofumi echoes commandingly, walking backswing toward mobilizing opposition turned foes enchanting injury upon principalities hidden. The desperate bid flees obedient counselors, earnest in triumph they've regulated enough simply in urgent knells. Behind lies passageways actively stunned, shouldn't darkness shimmer, radiant spirits guide per adventure new depth struggles easy warrior effort envisages fuller encounters where two grasp employ tongues promising reckoning due save intermission destiny alight undertake harder to aspire any figure. In the chaotic chamber deep within the heart of the spirit tortoise, Naofumi and his companions face a formidable foe. The air crackles with tension and magic as they encounter the tortoise's heart, surrounded by wizards casting ceremonial spells. A sense of urgency looms over Naofumi as the heart emits a powerful heat beam. "Quick! Everyone get back," he shouts, leveraging his shield's magic to deflect the attack. The beam, a torrent of fiery energy, sears the flesh of the chamber, leaving Naofumi and his friends to brace against the heat. The relentless assault has left each of them battered. Raphtalia and Philo are by Naofumi's side. "Are you okay?" Raphtalia asks with concern. The magic around them pulsates dangerously, and the need to act intensifies. Ost, the spirit guiding them, pushes forward, insisting they need all available power for the sealing spell. "We need more time," she cries, knowing their mission's success depends on holding the tortoise at bay. Raphtalia and Philo spring into action. They swing their weapons, slicing through sinews connecting to the heart. Their efforts momentarily slow the heart's furious beat. Naofumi encourages them with urgency, now. While it's stunned, the sealing spell. The wizards renew their chants, a chorus that blends with the clashing of blades and magical energies. Just when it seems the attack may have triumphed, danger erupts again. Blobs, gruesome and amorphous, burst forth from the heart. Naofumi hastily summons multiple shields, shooting star shield, shield prison, air strike shield, to protect his allies, but some of the blobs slip through. "Damn!" He curses under his breath as he witnesses a wizard's power drained by the amorphous assault. Ost reassures the others, "We still can use the sealing spell." This small victory is dampened by the ruthless attack's repetition. Naofumi strategizes a defense against an even stronger beam, doubting their continued ability to hold the line. In the heat of battle, every second feels impossibly stretched and surreal. Philo's spirited cries snap everyone to attention. She's ready to draw back magic stolen by the enemy, offering another glimmer of hope. She starts to pull energy back from the heart, swelling comically before unleashing it, invigorating her allies. "Nice job, you two!" Naofumi shouts approvingly, seeing their chance to press forward. Within moments, the wizards complete their powerful chant. A circle of tremendous energy and magic surrounds the heart, preparing to seal it. Drive a wedge to stop the spirit tortoise, the spell's momentum builds, creating an air of anticipation. The heart's beating falters to a slow hum before ceasing altogether. Raphtalia and Philo steady themselves, exchanging anxious glances. But Ost is still burdened with her mission. She murmurs ominously that the tortoise's demise was too easy, indicating a deeper, hidden enigma they must unveil. No sooner have they entrapped the heart than Ost reveals a cruel reality: it's not truly vanquished. The chamber quivers as her warning echoes: they must strike the core beneath the beast to stop it completely. Without hesitation, Naofumi prepares to lead an assault deeper into the depths. With renewed purpose, Naofumi organizes his team. Raphtalia, Philo, Eclair, Rishia, and the old lady cycle between attacking the blobs and strategizing for an entrance to the tortoise's core. Time is of the essence as the heart's magic begins to regenerate. The entry beyond the sealed heart reveals an oppressive fleshy corridor, and they press forward, desperate for answers. Suddenly, Naofumi recalls its eternal echoes, a cruel, tormenting reminder of their desperate mission. As they descend, they encounter a bizarre artifact, pulsating with life. Before them stands a figure who mocks their struggle with laughter. Naofumi's blood chills at the man's revelation. This scientist figure captures defenses, causing Naofumi to seethe with anger. The captured heroes slumber within pillars, all power siphoned by this malignant force. "Shield hero!" Eclair calls, sensing the tumult in Naofumi. His rage and motivation spiral as he contemplates their desperate situation, a result of unreckless destruction unfolding around them. His grip tightens on his shield as the figure continues taunting. Incensed with purpose, Naofumi rallies his team for a counterattack, battling against rhythmic spells and various stolen powers. As pages fly from the sinister tome of their enemy, Raphtalia and Philo maneuver into attack positions, slashing through the assaults with grace and fidelity. The battle reaches its crescendo, a demonstration of strategy tempered with grit. Larissa's spells blend with Philo's aerial assaults while Naofumi creatively employs his shield roster, soothing some discord with deliberate action. Ultimately, the book's spells emit heat beams that strike powerfully against their shields. Naofumi stands ready, though their foe gets stronger, so do they. Remarkably, each defensive adjustment holds a promise of resolve. Nevertheless, this culminating showdown tests every iota of Naofumi's cunning, poise, and fortitude. "We won't lose. Not here." Naofumi's words put steel in their spines. Efforts joined and hearts united, they refuse the oppressor's laughter, determined to pierce through to the unseen core. As magical pages peel away, the team sees the path more clearly, and they will battle on, unyielding, until they tip the scales of fate in their favor. The battle rages on as Naofumi, Raphtalia, and Philo find themselves facing off against a new wave of spirit tortoise familiars, led by the formidable Neo-Guardians. Ost is leveraging the spirit tortoise's energy, a surge of undeniable power that threatens to overwhelm Naofumi's group. Naofumi urgently strategizes, realizing their normal attacks won't penetrate this powerful barrier. He considers shifting to stronger tactics, contemplating using the Shield of Wrath. Eclair and Rishia join the fray, both stepping in to hold back the familiars while Naofumi evaluates their dwindling options. Tension mounts as the familiars prove more ferocious, forcing Naofumi to doggedly defend his allies. Amidst the chaos, strategic maneuvers are executed, defensive formations are critical to stave off the unyielding advance of these relentless creatures. Naofumi deliberates the risks of unleashing the full might of the Shield of Wrath. It's a power he's reluctant to tap into due to its uncontrollable fury. Yet with little alternative, he considers combining his rage with Ost's energy to breach the barrier. Still, there's hesitation. Unleashing such an overwhelming force could jeopardize their precarious situation. Suddenly, familiar figures burst into the scene. Lark, Glass, and Toise arrive unexpectedly, their dramatic entrance marking a turning point. Their appearance ignites hope as they join Naofumi, cutting through the Neo-Guardians. With their arrival comes confusion, alliances blurred as Glass and Lark make startling declarations. They stand aligned against Kyo, the real enemy behind the horrors. Kyo taunts them, mocking their efforts and choreographing his destruction. Yet, Lark and Glass remain resolute, initially misunderstood as foes. Clarity emerges in the frenzy as Toise and Glass explain, Kyo is wielding deadly power while holding Ost captive within the spirit tortoise's control. an unexpected convergence of heroes and villains furthers the complexity of the battlefield. Kyo exudes wicked glee, relishing chaotic manipulation over the spirit tortoise's powers. He dismisses the strength of Lark and the company, executing a powerful barrier upon himself. Determined, Naofumi plots a counter, directing the group with tactical precision. Exploiting momentary chinks in the barrier, they assault Kyo with abandon. Lark, fiercely swinging his scythe with vigor, finds himself synergized with Raphtalia's agility and Naofumi's steadfast defense. Together, through relentless assault, they chip away at Kyo's defenses. Glass remains fierce, herself acknowledging the high stakes. Everyone must act with precision to bring down Kyo's labyrinthine magic. Ost, quietly persisting, leveraged her connection to guide Naofumi. Her earnest sacrifice drives him toward a pivotal moment. As the battlefield falls into disarray, Ost's ethereal presence unexpectedly invokes a binding spell, All Liberation Aura. It amplifies Naofumi's abilities while tapping into the spirit tortoise's power. Suddenly, an awe-inspiring transformation occurs, the energy emanating from Naofumi's shield channels through everyone, igniting a resurgence in strength. Allies witness new potency as their movements seamlessly come together against the beleaguered Neo-Guardians and Kyo's minions. They're enveloped in a restored hope, a hope strengthened by Ost's dwindling vigor, her guidance invaluable. Kyo realizes the scenario is shifting out of his control, albeit momentarily sprouting imperceptibly cracking barriers from the spirit tortoise's core. But Naofumi's relentless pursuit binds their faction together, each wielding unfathomable strength bolstered through newfound unity. At this pivotal juncture, Naofumi, bolstered by urgent collaboration, unleashes a defining attack with the team. Together, they weaken Kyo's constructs. Just when the beleaguered foe quivers under their collective might, Kyo schemes a final desperate act, stumbling into a slew of retaliating strikes. Call it calculative assault or intuitive unison, allies strike true, and with synchronized fury, they topple Kyo's manipulative brutal force, revealing the critical vulnerability he concealed all along. The ensuing climactic reunion speaks volumes of collective tenacity and drawn alliances, even involving tentative trust amongst former adversaries. Finished and fatigued, the unlikely emerges. The world owes the stint to an eclectic amalgamation vying victory for moral restoration. Naofumi ensures that beyond trepid turmoil, light flickers hope, renewed beyond fierce united front forged through et original intent, paradoxical presence, lead by steadfast fortitude. Together, encompassing comrades obliterate somber shackles laid before. In the heart of an epic confrontation, Naofumi faces a monumental decision as the energy of the spirit tortoise gathers around him, filling the chamber with intense blue light. Ost, the spirit tortoise's incarnation, encourages him to trust this energy to defeat the enemy. The atmosphere is tense as Kyo, an adversary, emerges from his concealment and taunts Naofumi and his group about the energy's potency. Naofumi braces the spirit tortoise's shield to withstand Kyo's attacks. So, shield hero. It's about time to learn what real power is. Kyo jeers, launching a barrage of pages filled with malicious energy. Naofumi's determination intensifies as his allies, including Lark and Glass, struggle against Kyo's magical onslaught. Kyo boasts about his apparent upper hand due to holding hostages, though Naofumi senses the desperation masked by Kyo's overconfidence. Rishia, determined and resolute, confronts Kyo despite her earlier self-doubts. Her firm bravery is evident as she declares, "I don't care if I don't have the strong abilities of a hero. I've got my own strength to protect my friends." Rishia, with unwavering focus, attacks Kyo, each move pulsating with an unyielding spirit. The tension crescendos further as Naofumi hesitates, wrestling with the idea that defeating Kyo might mean losing Ost forever. Her voice echoes in his mind, urging him to carry out his role despite the personal cost. "You must defeat me to protect everyone," Ost implores, acknowledging the tragic necessity of the situation. As Kyo escalates his attacks, the battlefield erupts with chaotic energy. Naofumi senses impending catastrophe but readies himself to channel Ost's power through his shield. The chamber transforms, and with a firm resolve, he activates a devastating energy beam. "Forgive me, Ost," Naofumi whispers as he unleashes it, destroying Kyo's defenses and dealing a hefty blow to their foe. The tumultuous clash peaks with intense light bursting forth. Kyo, now enraged and weakened, realizes his plans are crumbling. His desperation mounts as he attempts to retreat, but Naofumi, Rishia, and the others refuse to let him go without facing justice. The aftermath leaves Ost ethereal, her form fading. Gratitude fills her eyes as she acknowledges Naofumi's bravery and resolves to pass along her released energy to prepare for future battles against looming threats like the Phoenix, another fearsome creature awaiting its chance to wreak havoc. As her light dims, Ost reflects on her journey with Naofumi's group, expressing profound thanks and a silent hope they will carry on bravely without her. Her parting words resonate with Naofumi: "Do not let my death sadden you. Use it to remember what you're protecting." Now standing at the cusp of another challenge, Naofumi braces himself, both for the palpable grief of losing an ally and the knowledge that each battle merely staves off the threats facing their world. Nonetheless, his resolve solidifies. Shield hero or not, he'd sworn to protect his world from any threat, and Ost's sacrifice would forever fuel his courage. With Ost's passing, Naofumi solemnly turns to his allies. Though some may feel bereft, there's no mistaking the quiet determination that has united them all. The promise to keep her memory alive fills their hearts as the realization dawns: unity and strength will see them through the coming trials. The weight of responsibility lingers heavily on Naofumi, but his insight grows keener with each battle fought. Ost's spirit, once a looming enigma, remains now a guiding light, urging Naofumi and his comrades to hold firm against the darkness threatening their world. Naofumi listens intently as Lark and Glass, standing by the portal's entrance, assure him of their sincerity. They're about to embark on a mission to combat Kyo and retrieve the energy stolen from the spirit tortoise's guardian beast. There's a mix of urgency and hope as Naofumi acknowledges the gravity of their task. Ost, poised with dignity, conveys her gratitude to Naofumi. Their paths had intertwined under dire circumstances, and now, with tears glistening in Ost's eyes, she prepares to embrace her fate. Despite being destined for disdain, Ost feels an unexpected warmth at Naofumi's words. As she vanishes with calm acceptance, her essence fades alongside the spirit tortoise's aura, leaving Naofumi to grapple with her sudden absence. Reflecting on the events, Naofumi struggles with the necessity of sacrifice, the weight of the choices made to protect the world from devastation. The harsh truth, that heroes must fight, that sacrifices are inevitable, weighs heavily on him. Returning to the portal's edge, Naofumi stands resolute. Lark announces the urgency of their mission, undertaking to tell the world about the battles they have faced. Raphtalia and Philo, steadfast in their loyalty, prepare to follow Naofumi into the unknown, their spirits unyielded. Rishia hesitates, conflicted between duty and personal growth, wanting to assist Itsuki. Amidst her own turmoil, Naofumi reassures her of her importance to their mission. As they ready themselves, Vittoria, Queen of the Philolials, offers silent prayers for Naofumi's success and safety, showcasing the wide-reaching support and hope pinned on their venture. Glass, once an adversary, recognizes the shared enemy they all face in Kyo. She reflects on the mysterious soul-healing water that had enhanced her abilities. She discusses with Lark the dynamics of soul power, explaining how it's distinct yet entwined with their capacity and level. Despite her vast powers, Glass acknowledges that facing Naofumi again might necessitate a sacrificial choice. Plotting their strategy, Lark suggests crossing into Naofumi's world to discover new strengths before the impending wave hits, leading to a tense decision to move ahead of time. Toise, a trusted ally, is charmed by the gemstones in her possession. As they share banter over Toise's fixation with the stones, a plan begins to formulate for gathering more resources. The conversation reveals Toise's determination to support Naofumi's world in battling the waves. It's clear that each character is moved by a profound sense of duty and interconnectedness. Lark, Glass, and their company prepare to cross worlds, savoring their camaraderie amidst the uncertainty. As they assess their equipment and disguise themselves to blend into the new setting, a spirit of camaraderie blends with their heightened readiness for the challenges ahead. Arriving at a new location, Melremark, they observe creatures and gather knowledge about the lay of the land. The mission is as much about gaining strength as it is about learning. As the days progress, encounters with turtle-like creatures hint at new resources essential for their upcoming battles. The group knows that even with their current might, more power is required to face their foes. The narrative ties together a shared resolve rippling through the characters, strengthening their commitment to the noble cause they serve, protecting their worlds against the inexorable waves. As tensions mount, Kizuna suspects they need better resources and stronger materials, urging Lark and Toise to explore other ways rather than fight the lesser monsters that offer little gain. But Lark insists on staying put, believing there isn't much time, highlighting, "Right?" I muttered. Was I the only one losing confidence in the mission? Kizuna feels the weight of being sidetracked, contrasting this with her memories of Naofumi and how he fought tirelessly, never wavering. Their grinding for materials continues tirelessly until suddenly, their vassal weapons start vibrating, signaling a grave new development. A warning appears: the spirit tortoise, a guardian beast in this realm, has reawakened. It's a robust defense mechanism, tasked with creating a shield for the world if left unchecked. Yet, there is skepticism, dynamic amidst the team. It raises a crucial question that if the tortoise wakes and acts upon its purpose, it might trap them forever or even crush them. Lark, seeming intense, retorts back with trust in Kizuna. Yet the group wonders, if cutting off into safety was a choice, then perhaps warriors from Naofumi's realm could best their foes. Glass is glued to this notion and acknowledges that some healing arts brought from their world could aid their tactics against the animated beast. In a shift laden with surprises, a scene unfolds with Kyo Ethnina, an unwelcome intruder and the notorious Book of Vassal Weapons bearer. His presence abruptly disturbs their efforts. Lark and Kizuna stand their ground, seeking answers as Kyo inches closer, filled with arrogance and malice. Kyo's goal? Seize control of the guardian beast's unprecedented strength for himself. Sudden chaos flares through virtual warnings and flashing directives as Kyo chuckles at their attempts to thwart him. Yeah, Kyo sneers, soaking in his supposed elegance. He effortlessly mocks them, brandishing what appears to be teleported magic, which he crudely lit. He twists the reality, uttering a bold claim that might does not rid the world of good or evil, casting a disdainful shadow over their plight. Seeing through his veiled threats, the group gets resolved to launch an offensive against Kyo's unscrupulous advances. Tasked with locking away Kyo's grievance once and for all, they focus on battling both him and the awakened tortoise, driven by their innate duty as gladiator bearers in tandem with their moral compremium, haughty Kizuna accelerating morale. The camaraderie around solidifies, a valiant unity for a shared cause takes form, a collection of vassal soldiers ready themselves. Soaring with simmering enthusiasm, they prepare to stave off any aftermath wrought by wicked Kyo intertwined amidst the racing waves threatening their moral high crestling. Answers lay not at the mercy of the spirit tortoise or Kyo's manipulative visions. Instead, seizing the bond harbored by their combined excerpt strengthens them, replenishing the sturdy commitment to warning the morphing tide. In this realm facing swells of existential horror and a future brimming with unresolved hardships, the central narration weaves into joining stories, stories of uncertain worlds meeting relentlessly tragic forces, stirring a call to untether their abundant world-binding hopes from the abyss. With their mission growing evident, these intertwined alliances with underlying thrust maneuver into battle, prompted by resolve, hurtling against the collapsing universe's harsh reality. Their project, adjust against expectant devastation together with a budding resurrection, affirming and arming against the looming legacy of this cataclysmic shift. Bound within imminent fruition, the dialogue from animated dimensions shifts as intentions with great magnitude collide, averting Zero to stand firm against faded desolation awaiting beyond. I conclude the indomitable chronicle etching waves culminating to envelop a patched dimension, heartens belying futured roaches extravagating ascended detail here enduring.